Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you for joining. I'm just going to give a little recap of the first 2 weeks. So we got started where we're holding. So again, the question was, what is Sinas Chinam? We know that the Beis Hamikdash was chura because of Sinas Chinam. Now is the time to work on the opposite of Sinas Chinam, right? Like I said, the Chofetz Chaim says that it's impossible that the Beis Hamikdash should be rebuilt if there's Sinas Chinam. If that's what destroyed it, you can't say, you can't hope to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash if there is Sinas Chinam. So we're trying to take it apart and try to realize what Sinas Chinam is. How could you hate for nothing? What does it mean? So in the first week, the example that I gave in the first week was, welcome, my developers here from India. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, George from India. It's early in the morning there. Thank you for coming. You can mute. Everybody's in mute.
Thank you.
So the first week, the explanation that we gave was, right, the example was that if my wife tells me that I'm not caring about what's important to her, right, and she's irritating me and I'm getting upset, you call it hatred, call it irritation. I'm irritated because she's telling me, that I don't care about her. So in the first week, we understood and took it apart that she doesn't mean to tell me that I'm bad. What she told me that I don't care about her, that's because she wants attention. It's not because she's telling me that I'm bad. I made it mean that I'm bad. So I am irritated and I'm hating her because she told me that I'm bad, but that's not what she told me. She told me that she wants attention. I made it mean that I'm bad. So that's the first week we said that sinas china means that it's not real. The sinna that I'm having on her is chinam, because what the hatred really is the story that I'm making and that I am making. That's not what she's making. That was the first week. The second week, we spoke about it from a different angle. And we said that chinam is futility. Because when I hate somebody, when I have an irritation on somebody, right? What I really mean to say is that I have a should on somebody. I want somebody to do something the way I want. I want somebody to have my priorities. And the example that we gave was that, right, if someone doesn't pay me back, if someone is not paying me back alone, right? So he's not paying me. The story that I'm making is, right, that I'm irritated by his not paying me back. He is, for whatever reason, he has his reasons why he's not paying me back, because he's paying on his priorities. So if I want him to change because of me, if I want anything outside of me to change, that's futility. I can't change anything outside of me. So if I hate him for something that he's doing or not doing, that doesn't make any sense. You can't change somebody else. So again, any sin that you have, an expectation that you have on somebody else, is sinas chinam. Different values, different priorities. It's not right. So that was the second week. This week I want to look at it from a different angle. So again, in box 1, if we can just write in box 1, an irritation that we have, an irritation that we perceive. If you want to just give Sully a picture. Something that you're irritated by, something that somebody did or didn't do. And for this week, the example that I'm going to use is somebody talking in shul. I get irritated when I see someone talking in shul. Okay, I get irritated when I see someone talking in shul, and that's the example that I want to work with tonight. You can all pick an example that irritates you. Anything that's irritating that somebody did or didn't do, that's irritating to you. Okay. Okay, so if you just want to write down, so that
is this a different approach?
It's a different approach. It's a different approach. A different approach about how to take apart sinas chinam. Different approach. I'm going to give a different pshat to the word chinam, but I'm using a different example because in this example I'll be able to explain it better. And the first example, I gave, something that matches the lesson that I'm giving. This lesson I'm giving about, I'm irritated by somebody talking in shul, and that's very irritating. I'm seeing him talking.
But I'm upset that somebody's not paying me back.
You could use the same irritation. Someone's not paying you back. It's the same thing. I'm just going to work with this example. Okay. Now, I just want to throw in something very beautiful that my wife gave me, actually, a very good practice that I started doing. And I'm just going to say the story again for those that didn't hear it. I said the story about Shalashidis, a very powerful, powerful story about sinas chinam. And I have a very good practice about it that we can use over here. The story is that on Lag BaOmer in 5781, we know that 45 people were never trampled and were nifter by the Tzion. Right? So the story is that there's a Magachia that wrote, a high school teacher, that he was told that one of his students were one of those that were missing. And he wrote in that he was very upset because, first of all, his student passed away. And second of all, he's going to have to give a hesped. He's going to have to have a eulogy the next day. And he doesn't really have what to say. This kid was not the top of the class. And he had a hard time with this kid. And he doesn't have what to say about him. Like, he was racking his brain. And like, to say that he's going to come to this funeral and not say anything, the parents are devastated that their child passed away and he's not going to say anything. So he has to, but what should he say? He doesn't know what to say. He was racking his brain. And then he remembers the kid told him that one time he learned 2 hours in one shot. And he was like so excited. So, like, he remembered something very special about the child. And then he remembered that the kid told him that he was like so jealous because the other boys, they daven, they pray, and they don't have any problem. And he struggles so much. And, like, from all, he remembered another one and another one. He remembered like 10 or 12 things that were very beautiful about this child. And he already had what to say. This child was really a very good child. He was just struggling, but he tried so hard. And okay, so he has what to say. As soon as he had what to say, they came in and told him that the kid was found and he did not pass away. So the Magashir realized afterwards, the teacher realized that if he would only look at the whole picture, if he wouldn't treat the kid the way he's treating him, because this kid is a very, very, very special boy. And he was looking down at him and like not even respecting him because he wasn't looking at the whole picture. So there's a very beautiful practice. If you have an irritation on somebody, like in this case, somebody that's coming in and talking and, something like that, is a very good practice to write down 5 good things about the person. What are 5 beautiful things about this person? I started doing it every day. Every day, I have somebody that's irritating me. I write down 5 things that this person is very special about. So that's something we can actually do.
But
to unroot sinas chenem.
The irritation is more
true.
powerful.
I'm going to talk about the irritation, but I'm just saying that as far as sinas chenem, when you have a hatred or irritation about somebody, realize that there's more to it than just the irritation itself. Okay, so it's just on the side. So now I'm going to start with box 2, and this is the punchline. Okay, and what I'm trying to bring out in this class is as follows: facts don't irritate. That's what I keep on saying again and again. The fact is not what irritates. It's the meaning that we make that irritates. And I want to explain it a little. I want to give an example. I'm going to work with this example. If you're driving from Williamsburg to Var Park on the BQE, okay, and there's no exit, and you can't go forth and you can't go back, and you're just in traffic, okay? And every half a minute, you go a couple of feet, if you know what that kind of traffic is, like traffic, okay? Now, you turn to the right side, to the left side, and you see a guy in the car, beet red, banging on his steering wheel. You can almost see smoke coming out of his ears and nose, right? He's so tense and upset. When you turn to the other side, see a guy sitting there listening to nice music or a shiur, or I don't know what he's listening to, and he's having a good time. He's enjoying the ride. The fact is not what irritates. The traffic is not what irritates. It's the story. It's the meaning that we're making that irritates us. Make sense? Okay. The same thing if you have a family that's walking through the mall. Okay, you have a father, a mother, and a kid walking through the mall. What does the father notice? What he cares about, right? What does the mother notice? What she cares about. What does the kid notice? What the kid cares about, right? You come out of the mall and the kid said, "Did you see all those brand new fancy toys?" Father didn't even notice that there were toys there. And the father asked the kid, "Did you see the latest accounting software?" He doesn't know what you know what that is. When we see something, when we perceive things, we are seeing what is negaya to us. We see what matters to us. The same thing is, okay, if we get irritated by somebody, the reason that we're getting irritated by somebody, the reason is because it's something about us. It's something about us that we don't want to look at. And that person is reflecting it. I'll explain, but I just want to first tell you the framework. When we admire something in someone else, it's also because we have it. If you don't have it, you don't spot it. If you spot it, you got it. And if I'm being irritated by somebody, the reason is because what I see is something that I have that I don't want to look at. And when I see it in him, it bothers me. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Is it true?
It's very true. And I'll explain it and you'll understand it soon. So again, and this is the important part.
I'm 100% honest. He never lies. He never cheats.
Right.
And the guy,
exactly.
I know I don't have that.
Right. But what he's asking is, let me just say what they're asking. What he's asking is, if you see someone lie and cheat, and you know that you don't lie and cheat, so how could that irritate you if you don't lie and cheat? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. The same thing as if someone comes in and talks in my shul. I never talk. Never. There's no such thing. You won't see me talking around. And why does it irritate me when I see someone else talking shul? Right? So it goes like this, and listen very carefully. Okay? This is the distinction that I'm trying to make. This is what I want you to get, and everything will follow from here. When I see him talking in shul, that's a fact. He talked. He came in, he's talking, and he's talking around. That's the fact. What am I making that mean? What is the meaning that I'm making? Because the meaning is what's irritating me, not what he's doing. Because if he would talk in another shul, it wouldn't bother me. And if he would talk in shul after davening, it wouldn't bother me either. It's not what he's doing. What is the meaning? What am I making it mean when it's bothering me?
Disturbing your concentration.
Okay. A little more. The way I understand it is he's disrespecting my shul. He's disrespecting me. So I don't care that he's talking in the middle of davening. That's not what's bothering me. What's bothering me is he is being disrespectful of me.
Your value.
Of my value. Is that clear? So when I'm irritated by him talking, I'm not irritated by the fact of the talking. I'm irritated by the story that I made that he's disrespecting me.
There's no option as it's bothered you, the Shem Shomayim, because you know it's not a place.
Why does it bother? I know, but if it would bother you,
Not,
right? So he's asking,
why is it?
Right.
I can't teach that.
100%. But so I just want to tell them what your question is. So he's asking that, could it be that it's really bothering me that he's disrespecting a shul and that he is not doing what it says in the rules to do or the law to do? If it would bother me that, then it would bother me if he would talk in someone else's shul. And it would bother me all the people that talk in other shuls.
Those you don't see.
If it's, I know, but if it's bothering me, if it's bothering me, I know what's going on. What's bothering me is him in this shul. So you're right. There is a part that is bothered by him doing the wrong thing. That's true. That's true. However, what's really irritating, the irritation is the meaning that I'm making. Just like in the traffic, right? The traffic it's how we perceive it. It's how we take it and understand it and perceive it is what's irritating us. You can have the same fact, one person that doesn't irritate and one person that does irritate. Two ehrliche people, right? Now, one other thing that I have to give a little akdoma here, and then we can get to 2. Okay? So, is what I want to bring out over here is also, okay, he is not necessarily being disrespectful. He can have 100 reasons why he's talking. I am feeling that he is disrespecting me. I am feeling that. Now, where I want to try to see where I do it so that if I know where I do it, I know what's being reflected. So, where am I disrespectful? Where am I disrespectful that I don't want to look at, that I don't like, that I don't want to look at? And when he's being disrespectful, I notice it in him. The reason that I'm noticing it in him is because I have it and I don't like it. Where am I disrespectful? Now, I'm obviously not going to see myself disrespectful because I'm a very respectful person. I give everybody respect. But where do other people think that I'm disrespectful? I think that he's being disrespectful. He doesn't think he's being disrespectful. I think he's being disrespectful. Where do people think that I am being disrespectful? I'll give you an example. I'll give you my examples, and then you'll be able to give an example for you. Okay, so in my example, people think that I'm not being respectful when I don't greet them. I come into shul and I don't greet them. People think that I'm disrespectful. Giving you an example. They think that I am being disrespectful. I'm not necessarily being disrespectful. I could have a million reasons why I'm not greeting them. They think that I'm being disrespectful. Where can I notice? Where can I find? Where can I see that I am doing or not doing what I'm judging about them?
Not the same.
Same thing. The irritation. What's the irritation? Like, if you want to share yours, you can.
What I'm saying is that you're talking about shul, talking shul. What's reflected back on you, a shul item or disrespect in another area in life also.
In another area in life also.
No, 'cause
Could be in another area,
so
not
that
only
would
in
be
you.
respect.
Right. Because what's
Respect.
irritating you is that you're watching him be disrespectful. Right? You're watching him be disrespectful, and that's irritating you. The reason that it's irritating you is because you don't like your disrespect. So when you see it in him, it's irritating you. Am I making sense?
It also helps to get specific. So if it's, let's say in your case, your example is the disrespectful to my values, disrespectful to something that's important to me, right? As far as like the shul, it's important for you, for people in your shul to be quiet. So then it would be disrespectful to something that's important to me. So the more specific we get with the thing that's irritating or that we're resenting, the more specific and easier it'll be to find what it is that we're doing in our form, in our
Yeah.
values.
Get it? So I'm going to give 5 examples. I'm going to give 5 examples where people perceive me as disrespectful because that's what's irritating me. What's irritating me is the disrespect. Okay, so I gave one example. When I don't greet people, they think I'm being disrespectful, right? Or when I forget to turn my blinker on. When I don't turn my blinker on, or when I cut somebody off, right? He thinks I'm being disrespectful. Am I being disrespectful? I know I'm not being disrespectful, but they perceive me as being disrespectful.
Maybe it is being
Okay, we'll get to that. Okay. Or sometimes I'm on the phone and I hang up too soon. People think I'm being disrespectful, right? Or sometimes I don't return a call. People think I'm being disrespectful. Or sometimes I ignore an incoming call. These are areas where people perceive me. When someone perceives me as being disrespectful, I am being disrespectful. When I perceive someone talking in shul as being disrespectful, he is being disrespectful. Now, he has another story. We'll talk about his story soon. But if we realize that what we're seeing and what we're noticing is our disrespect, we'll be able to separate.
You're not even aware of it's disrespect. You ready?
That's what I'm bringing.
Why should it?
That's what I'm bringing. I'm bringing
someone?
awareness. I'm bringing awareness. I want us to become aware. Exactly. That's the
No,
point.
what I'm saying is, if I'm totally unconscious that I'm being disrespectful to these things, then how can you say that my feeling about myself is being reflected in the fact that I'm criticizing him for being disrespectful? Why?
That's the way it works.
Right?
Yeah, because you're not aware of it. Right. You're not aware of it. You're not aware of it.
Then why you say that then
When you see it,
I see it,
it's going to irritate you.
Why?
Yeah, even if you're not aware of it. Because look, try to find 5 examples. I don't know what your irritation is, but try to find 5 examples where you do that, where you are doing the same thing. If you open your awareness and you look, you'll find it. And the reason that it's irritating you is because you didn't find it yet. Find it. Can you?
Well, there is a concept in psychology that it's easy to find the flaws in someone
Right.
else.
That's what I'm
But
talking
you
about.
have
That's what I'm talking about. Right, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But when I'm talking about flaws, I'm talking about when you're irritated by someone, and you came in by step 2, but the first step is to find an irritation and to find the meaning behind the irritation. So the example that I gave was, I see somebody talking in shul. So it's not the talking in shul that's irritating, it's the disrespect that's irritating. It's the disrespect to me and my shul that's irritating me, right?
Talking can be annoying in and of itself.
What's the annoyance?
And it's causing disruption.
What's the annoyance about that? That's a fact. What's the annoyance? What is irritate? What's the irritation? If you go into it, I don't know, maybe you have a different irritation. I'm talking about my irritation, but
She's annoying.
yeah.
And
And when it does, and when it disrupts your concentration, what's the irritation about?
Irritation is that I came to shul to
True, you came to
have
shul.
proper
True.
concentration.
Yes,
And he messed
and
it up.
so he's doing.
He is messing it up.
He is doing something. He's doing something, and you are making it mean that he is messing something up of yours.
Okay.
Where do you mess something up of someone else? Not on purpose, but where do people say, "Hey, you're messing up something about me. You're messing with me." Can you come up even one example? Any example is good.
When I went too slow.
What?
Okay.
Too slow.
And when you're laning too slow, are you laning too slow to mess somebody up? Of course not.
It's annoying to the guy who's trying to talk.
That's the point. That's the point. What I'm trying to do here is to separate what the person is doing from the sinner that you're having, because the sinner that you're having is just a reflection of something that you never noticed about yourself. So if you could just write in box 2, even if you can come up with one example, that was a very good example. If you can come up with an example of where do I do that? Where do I disrespect? Where do I mess someone up? Where do I not regard someone? Where do I any whatever your irritation is?
So if I was to go up the down, I would go too slow. I would be messing up everyone else. And you're sure, because they have an agenda to go to, and I'm forcing them to stay like say 15 minutes davening. That would really get them upset.
Okay.
Yeah. See?
Okay. Good. Okay. We're almost done.
But
It's-
if what I'm doing is something that I think that is
Oh, that's what we're gonna get to the next thing. That's the next
I'm
box.
shushing somebody.
Right.
And it's annoying to them.
Exactly.
I'm shushing them because they're saying
Exactly.
something.
Exactly. What Shimshi is saying is that when I shush them, I am annoying them. Right. 100%.
And everybody else will be shushing.
And everybody else. Yeah. Same. Okay. In box number 3, I want to write what my reason is. When you're shushing, what's your reason? Why are you shushing when you're shushing? Because you want to disturb everybody?
No.
No.
I think
Because you have an agenda why you're shushing.
She's there.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about my example, right? My example. I was talking about my example about someone talking in shul, okay? So why when people perceive me as being disrespectful, what is my reason? Why am I doing it, right? So I said like I don't greet somebody, right? Why am I not greeting somebody? Because I'm thinking about something else, not because I'm disrespecting them. So I have a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's not because I'm disrespectful. I have a reason that I'm doing it. Right? So, and why don't turn on the blinker. I'm on the phone. I'm thinking. I didn't realize. Why did I cut him off? I cut him off because I'm disrespectful, right? I understand myself. Right? So in box 3, I wrote why the things that I do that the people perceive me as being disrespectful has nothing to do with disrespect. Make sense?
But any justifications don't necessarily make it right either. Right?
No, we're not talking about making it right. We're not talking about right or wrong.
It's justification. It's just a justification.
Yeah, we're just talking about why does it make sense. That's all. Just why does it make sense, but not if it's right or wrong. I'll get to the right or wrong. I'll get to soon. It's very interesting. Okay, so I'm not saying he's right for talking about davening, but I'm just talking about like if I'm thinking and perceiving that he's being disrespectful, and some people perceive me as disrespectful. Why am I being disrespectful? Right? That I understand. Right. So if you can write just an example in box 3 of why am I disrespectful, or why am I messing with someone else? Why am I shushing? Why am I whatever the irritation is? All right, a minute for that. And then the last box, box 4, okay, if you can come up with a reason why that person is doing what he's doing. In other words, let me give you the example of talking about shul. Maybe they don't realize that they're being disrespectful. And maybe they're in pain. And maybe they didn't start davening, so they think they didn't start davening so they can talk. Maybe they think they're speaking slow. Maybe they don't know that they're disturbing. Maybe they're talking about something that's very important to them. I'm talking about my examples, but in any example, whenever you are being irritated by someone else, so there's 2 parts. One is realize that what you are seeing and what's irritating you is something that's yours that they are reflecting, and it's not necessarily what they are doing. They are not necessarily disrespecting. But if you see disrespect and you are irritated by their disrespect, it's time to look and see, where am I disrespectful? And why am I disrespectful? I have a reason. And then, why are they being disrespectful? Maybe they're not even being disrespectful.
So it's
being down the kafsos. I'm taking it apart. It's counterintuitive, very counterintuitive.
Yeah.
It's very counterintuitive. But that's the whole point, to take it apart.
I expect, if I'm honest, then I expect somebody else, but then it bothers me that somebody's dishonest.
Right.
So
And what's bothering you? Right. But you feel that you're honest, right? And you're being irritated by someone else's dishonesty. Where do people think that you're dishonest? Where did anybody ever tell you, hey, you're being dishonest, or think that you're being dishonest?
Yeah.
So that means you have some dishonesty. Well, that's what this is for, to start thinking about that. The other person that you're thinking that he's dishonest, it could be that he's honest and he has a reason, just like you have a reason.
I've confronted that person. And they know they're not honest.
Okay. And some people think that you're not honest. Right? So
But
it's
that guy could be a lot more not honest.
My dishonesty is very subtle.
Yeah.
That other dishonesty is very blatant.
okay. That could be.
Just like the disrespect when the shul talking the shul.
Same thing.
That is the grubber disrespect.
Right. But for that person, that's what I'm saying. But for that person, it's not necessarily a grubber disrespect. Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Somebody's a talker and shit.
He might
been
not.
raised in an environment where
Where-
they talk the shul. And nobody
For him, it's not the same disrespect as for you. When he's being dishonest, for him, it's not so terrible like when for you, dishonesty. True. But he is reflecting something about you. The reason that it's irritating you is not because of him. The reason that it's irritating you is because it's something that you have. That's what I'm trying to take apart. When you have a sin or a hatred or irritation on somebody, it's not really on him, because you don't know what his story is. And you don't know if he is even
do know.
being disrespectful.
You do know. Sometimes you do. Many times you do know.
There's one-
I mean, there could be times where you know,
you do
this guy's just
know.
not a good person. It does that.
Just so the story with the town is the Marichir really knew that this Bocher
He was just unaware.
not a good Bocher. He had so much rice,
Right.
and then they came up with the reflex that he understood that the Bocher is the opposite. Such a good Bocher,
Yeah.
and he just told him.
Okay, so I just want to finish with a story.
Most
With
of
a,
the guy is good, but
I want to finish with a story that we all know, and it'll take it together. And you'll. I hope this will really drive it home, and you'll understand it. We know when the brothers came back to Yosef in Mitzrayim, and this I heard from my wife as well. When the brothers came back to Yosef in Mitzrayim, and he told them, and Yosef, so it says that Yosef embraced them, right? He embraced them. He took them back. Did he condone their behavior? Did he tell them that, oh, it's a great thing that you sold me. That's what you have to do. That's what you're supposed to do. He didn't say that. What did he say? Hashem sent me here. I love you. Hashem sent me here. What Yosef was doing was very, very beautiful. Yosef separated the fact from the love. The fact is that they sold him. That's the fact. Now that fact happened because Hashem wanted it. That fact didn't mean that his brothers are bad. Wow. Yosef was able to see through it. And instead of getting irritated and hating his brothers, he was able to embrace them and realize that they are wonderful people and to separate the brothers from the fact that happened.
They were just the shluch.
They were the shluchim. He was able to see that. That is the epitome of ahavas chinam. That's what we want to try to get to. These brothers went and sold him into slavery. And he was able to embrace them and realize that it was Hashem that did the action. And he didn't make that mean that his brothers hate him or that he hates his brothers. That's the lesson that I'm trying to. I mean, I'm not saying we can be on the level of Yosef and make such a big separation, but to separate what the person is doing from our irritation, to be able to see that our irritation is ours, and to be able to separate and see the whole person and see his malas, then Irish Telefon, we should be zoicha to have a havas chinam and undo sinas chinam and bring the Beis Hamikdash and hide of you, my name.
And it also happens to be easier.
It's not the okay.
It also happens to be easier to give criticism, let's call it, to someone who that person knows.
It's coming from.
It's coming from love.
Yeah.
That just knows
Sure,
that
she
you
says,
love him.
yeah, if the criticism comes from a place of love, it comes with a different energy. That person will
perfect.
receive it with a
That-
different energy also. Right, very good. Good.
I would go with
it's less.
Okay.